What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Ferino. Joined by me is my co-host Christian Dyer and Dion Johnson from Nine Green Podcast. How we doing, fellas?
Good.
Good, good. How's it going?
Good. It's been a minute since we've been on, so glad to be back.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's go over the formalities real quick. If you guys haven't yet already, go to our YouTube channel and youtube.com/ Fair Faithful Podcast 49. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we really appreciate it. Keep you updated on all our 49er news. Um, Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is FFPod49 and Instagram for Faithful Podcast all spelled out all the way. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/ for Faithful Podcast. Like us on our Facebook page and group, facebook.com/ FFPod49. And that's it. Let's get into it, fellas. Got a lot of Deebo talk going on for the past week. Deebo got rid of all his 49er stuff on Instagram, blacked out his profile picture. I'm not looking into it too much, but I mean, what do your guys' take on all this going on?
He just wants his money, and he's trying to make everybody seem like he's serious. It's really just with these athletes nowadays. They're really passive aggressive, and it's just a passive aggressive move to say, "Give me my fucking money."
That's facts, honestly. Dion?
I don't think there's anything else to be said. Lefty said exactly what it is, bro. That's
Yep,
look, man.
yep.
I'm 40, man. So I'll use an old term. That's what these young whippersnappers are doing nowadays, man. They scrub their Instagram. Bro, social media is how most of these young cats live today. So please, man, I don't care nothing about none of that. At the end of the day, it's real simple, and everybody knows this. So what did Jimmy Ward just say? The 49ers usually pay their cats June, July, August.
Exactly.
They try to get them in that time frame. And who magically is going to be healthy enough to pass the physical at that time? Number 10. I'm not going to say his name because he's not worth that much. But once he's gone, whether they cut or trade him, as long as they do not wind up trying to be greedy and take what they can get, then it is what it is. You know, the money will come. Mm-hmm. He'll get paid. Everybody will be fine. And then next year, you'll most likely see Nick Bosa get paid. Just how it's going.
Hey, here's what. But the weird thing is you see the way they're kind of like this whole offseason, they've just been signing cheap guys to like fill in guys with not spending a lot of money. With how much cap space they're gonna get with getting rid of Jimmy, I almost wonder if they're gonna try to do Deebo and Bosa at the same time. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to fit it in this cap if they have that room, because they obviously didn't plan on signing free agents using that space that Jimmy created. So it almost seems like that was the whole point of that, was to give the money to at least Deebo. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him give it to Bosa too, and that way they don't have to manipulate the cap for Bosa's next season. I could be wrong, but it's just I wonder if that $25 million is meant to go between Bosa and Deebo, and especially since that whole guaranteed contracts are a thing. You end up not. I mean, I don't know how good it is to do that yet. I guess I wouldn't say I'm an expert on the whole contract thing, but it seems like it's a good and bad, and the good part of it is it seems like it takes away from the cap hit if you do the guaranteed money. So
yeah,
I could see them trying to split it between the two, but or make a big late signing in free agency if they decide not to. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's what they've been hung up on, honestly. Everybody is seeing a lot of this guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson just completely obliterated the market with guaranteed money. Like, that is insane. That man got a whole contract guaranteed, and he ain't get no chump change. He's set for life. That man could never set foot on the Browns field ever again, and he got all that bread coming to him. So At the end of the day, that probably was one of the things is the guaranteed money. Um, I, Debo just had a kid, man. He's got to make
Yep.
sure his child's future is bright and putting his body on the line the way that he does for us. He deserves every penny, man. So he'll get paid eventually. It's nothing to really. I didn't panic when I heard about it because I'm like, well, I already know why he's not really being paid. And you know, be honest with
Mhm.
you, it's the Yorks and it's Parag. And the reason that I state that is because they're frugal. And you got to be mindful, man. Some of these cats today ain't about to sit up there and take that little pay cut. Like, don't get me wrong. I know Debo loves Frisco. He loves playing with us.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, he's most likely working out in Miami, staying in shape. He's there with his family.
Mhm.
He's doing what he has to do. So everybody, let's relax. No panicking. Just give it time. And once 10 can pass a physical and we can get him out of
Mhm.
here and get his money gone, we'll be
Mhm.
fine.
Exactly. Just real fast, if you guys are tuning in on Twitter, we cannot see your chat, so go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ Very Faithful Podcast 49 to be able to chat with us. Once again, we cannot see your chat on Twitter. Um, so I also wanted to say too, just the other day, Trey Lance, I think asked Deebo to go practice with him or something, and Deebo said to come over to Miami to practice or something like that. Is that true? From what I
I don't
heard?
know. I didn't hear anything about that. I mean, and most likely Debo probably stated that because he doesn't want to be away from his family.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a new child, man, you want to spend as much time with him as you possibly can. You don't want to waste your time going all the way across. I mean, and that's a full 5 hour flight
Yep.
with
Yep. Yep. Yep.
possible transitioning from one plane to the next,
Mhm.
depending on how you get there, And the other thing that I'll say about Debo as well is for anybody thinks that he's gonna hold out, he won't. Let me tell
He's
you what
not.
Debo's gonna do. Debo's going to show up to anything mandatory. If it ain't
Mhm.
mandatory, you probably won't be there, people. And do not be alarmed because this is a normal tactic in the NFL by people who are trying to get paid. He
Mhm.
cannot afford to hold out. He has not made that kind of bread yet, people. If you really think if Deebo is able to hold out, I hope he got all kinds of endorsement money. I really
Yeah.
do. Because there's no way you're going to be able to pay those fines. And no, you can't waive those. Like the team cannot waive the fines for you not, coming to mandatory stuff. It's in your contract.
Mhm.
So he'll be at anything mandatory, but he won't be at anything voluntary. If it's voluntary, probably won't see him. So what does that do? It opens the door for other receivers to build a rapport with Trey Lance, i.e., you saw Jawan Jennings, you saw Ray McLeod, you saw
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon
Tho-
Ayuk, who
Those two are
loves
already
him some
boys.
Trey Lance, man. Like I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it's the only thing they could do to wind up pushing that young kid to go and say I want to trade is putting 10 back on the field in 2022. I guarantee people if you put him back on the field and say he's the starter, Ayuk is walking out the door. He ain't playing.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
totally agree. I totally agree, honestly.
Well, you
They've
could
been
see his
working out a
body.
lot too.
You could see his body language every time
Mm.
he was open and Jimmy missed him. Like that one Cowboys, the playoff game where he missed him wide. You could see like instantly BA's freaking body
Somebody I
language.
forget
Fuck this shit.
I forget who it was. Somebody stated that there was like 18 to 22 routes or something that he
Mhm.
ran and he was open, like open on like 18 of them, and they were all downfield.
Well, dude, he's
But
breaking ankles
we,
with that route running.
we know Jimmy don't throw downfield, so you're just standing there open. And you saw it in his rookie season and this past. You've seen Ayuk be frustrated on the field. Like, yo, this is really getting on my nerves. I am tired of being wide open and having a quarterback that either
Mhm.
won't throw to me or can't because it's too far downfield for him to do it. So
That's
we
why
shall
Ayuk's
see.
freaking boys with Lance because he's like, motherfucker, I know you're gonna get me the ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And if you've seen any of the pictures from them practicing, Lance is throwing balls that are catchable along with balls that are not. And these guys are going and getting them. We all know Brandon Ayuk got the arms of an orangutan, man. And no people, and people,
Fucking
let me
hell,
say
dude.
this. Let me say this. I should have prefaced my account. There's nothing racial about that. He's just got some long ass arms. Because I
Some
know
knuckle
people who
draggers,
take and
man.
try to turn that shit into something else. Don't go out there and be that person because you know what the hell I meant. He got some long ass arms. He
Mhm.
really fucking does. So I saw a picture where he's like up in the air catching the ball with his fingertips.
Oh
So
shit, dude.
I mean, this dude, I predict honestly, with Deebo being gone from voluntary things, I predict Ayuk takes over that number one spot because he's there and the chemistry is being built. It's not that nobody wants to play with Deebo, it's his choice and it's his right. As a
Mhm.
player, you got to get your money because the NFL stands for not for long, baby. So
Let's
I do not
let's
fault him.
let's be fair with Debo. He's kind of a. I think he's kind of a guy that's to himself in a lot of ways. He
Yeah.
goes out there and plays, but he's the kind of guy you'd call, he's cerebral. Is the best way to describe the type of player he is. So a
Mm-hmm.
guy like that's gonna. He's like, I'm gonna be in Miami. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna get ready for the season,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be open, and they're gonna get me the ball regardless. Like I don't think he's worried. He knows if he does his part, Lance is gonna do his part. I think the whole rapport thing with the way that Debo plays the game and plays the receiver. I mean, I know they got to get timing down a little bit, but other than that, I think the kind of routes that Debo runs, I don't. You can get him the ball, and
Yeah.
the way he moves all over the field. I think he's gonna, and he's already shown us too since he's been in the league. He likes to practice on his own and do his own thing. But I just think it's the type of player he is. He's just a cerebral guy, and he just, goes out there and fucking busts his ass every chance he gets. I mean, he carried the Niners this past season on his fucking back,
Yeah. Seriously.
and
Yeah.
he knew it too. Because when he was crying and shit and fucking distraught after losing to the Rams in the NFC Championship, he knew it because he knew he carried this team on his back, and they fucking almost took them to the Super Bowl.
I
Fucking
just wonder why he wasn't in. I really don't know what happened as it pertains to why he was not on the field. Because if he was fully healthy, I'd put a one-legged Debo out there over a two-legged Jermichael Hasty.
Mm.
Like, what are we doing?
dude,
I
he's
really wonder what happened.
I would love to know that, man. Like, I kid you not, I would love to be a fly on the wall in these locker rooms to hear the stuff these cats are saying. But it is what it is.
mhm.
It's a
But
new season. We got the draft coming.
Mhm.
We just got to keep pushing.
yeah, and I mean, I'm excited to see exactly what Debo's going to do this season because I also don't think he's the type of player where you give him his money and then his game falls off at all. I think he's just he's one of those guys that just loves the game of football and goes out there and plays hard every play. So
You saying he's not gonna pull a Michael Thomas?
fuck no.
So let me ask you guys this. So just the other day, somebody mentioned that Deebo was probably going to be worth a 25 million contract deal. What do you
Mhm.
guys think about that? That's the
That's what
most you pay?
that's what he wants. You got to pay him it. That's kind of how the market. I mean, to be fair, owners lately are losing. They're losing their grip. Like players are getting more say,
Mhm.
which I think is cool. I think it's cool to see um, them to get more control and have more say of what's going on. So that's kind of what it seems like. So
Mhm.
I guess if that's what he wants, that's probably what they're going to have to pay him. But they're going to pay him what he wants. I mean, maybe they'll come and get him to come down a little bit and come to an agreement. But the Niners are going to pretty much they're going to give him what he wants. Like
Yeah.
they're John Lynch already said there's two guys on this team that are a big part of this team and are going to be part of this team for a long time, and that's Deebo and Bosa. And I
He
firmly
also
believe in
said that
that.
about DeForest Buckner. Look what happened.
Well,
That's
that's
true.
fair.
That's true.
I
That is true.
I think I don't know whose decision it was, but they just decided a fucking Armstead was their guy, and you have to pick one of the two, and they decided to make Armstead the guy, which none of us agreed with. But
The reason they made Armstead the guy was because he was more reasonable and he was
Mhm.
okay to get his contract structured to a point where it didn't hurt the team. DeForest Buckner was doing the same thing that Deebo Samuel was doing. He was saying, I just had a kid. I need to secure my future and secure my child's future, which is understandable.
Yeah.
As far as the $25 million for me goes, I feel like that's a max. Here's the reason why. Deebo is not a full-time wide receiver. He is a wide receiver and a running back and a kick
Yeah.
return and a punt return.
He deserves the money.
He deserves the money. He's your ultimate gadget guy. He's like Reggie Bush on crack. And the reason I state that is because when Reggie Bush was playing, he
That's
did
facts.
all of that.
Yep.
He did do that.
That's true.
He didn't have a 1,000-yard season, I believe, until he got to Miami. But he had more than 1,000 scrimmage yards. So the thing is as well, when you structure those contracts, you can turn half that shit into bonuses or make it incentive laden. Like there's ways to figure out how to get that man to 25 mil. And he knows that he is the offense, so it's going to run through him. I mean, he accounted for 20% of the offense on his own. So
yeah,
you have no reason not to pay the young man. And I did see something today that was funny on Instagram. George Kittle called Trey Lance. Trey Lance missed a call, but called him right back. Number 10, why don't you do that? Why do you act like, somebody supports you the way that any grown-ass man that puts a T-shirt on with you and your goddamn boxer briefs, you need to be calling that dude every 5 minutes and telling him thank you. Because I like you. I like Brandon. I like Lefty. I like all my guys to hide. I am not wearing a motherfucking shirt with any of you guys in your boxers. It's not happening. No. I like all of you. I'm not doing it. I don't give a damn who it is.
Okay, there's only one fucking Hive guy who would do that, and that's after the Niners lose another Super Bowl and he's fucking in his fucking underwear crying with his eyes wide.
Ali.
Fucking wide. Ali, exactly. I'll make the exception for a distraught fucking shirt of Ali. Like, fucking come on, motherfuckers.
Hey, that man.
I'm done with
man,
Joey. Here you go with
Joey.
the shit. What if it's a really good picture? I don't give a. It can be the greatest picture on planet Earth. You better get a woman to wear that. I'm sorry. Ain't happening, Joey. Ain't happening.
Dude, that's so funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Ali, man.
Okay, so do you think another reason why they're holding off on paying Deebo too is because of number 10?
100%. Dude, where's the money gonna come from?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, think about it. Look at what Kyle said when they interviewed him at the owners' meetings. Like there was gems that he dropped in there. Although I don't like the consistent loving on number 10, it drives me insane. I know they have to keep pumping it up. We're not going to get rid of just a great quarterback. And it's like, John Lynch said y'all didn't get no calls. He can't be that damn great if ain't nobody called to trade for his ass.
Nobody's trading for him.
The thing is very simple. There's two quarterbacks on the market, and that's Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Baker's way better than Jimmy.
And that's the thing. I feel like, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're a franchise and you're looking at things, you know who you want? You want Jimmy. You want 10. And I'm gonna tell you,
Baker's drama.
Exactly.
You say
I don't want. Look, bro, you can do all the progressive commercials you want, but at the end of the day, there is no insurance with you. With number 10, I know I know what I'm getting, and at the same time, I don't deal with the diva attitude. I leave that out of the equation.
Let's be fair to Baker though. He's had how many different coordinators, how many different head coaches? He played for the Browns injured when he should have sat out and got the surgery already and stuff. He played for them injured because they asked him to. So he's drama, but the motherfucker will play through pain and fucking when he needs surgery all season and fucking put his heart out for your team. So you got everybody shits on him, but the guy is a fucking loyal to his team. Gives him credit. Nobody's giving him credit for fucking playing through that injury all season, even though it fucking hurt his game because his whole thing is his ball placement and accuracy, and he was all over the fucking place with that injury.
I could
Like
come to you and
everybody,
say Jimmy did the same shit. He played with
Yeah,
a shoulder injury and a
shoulder
fucked
yeah,
up
injury
but
thumb.
and a thumb.
Jimmy sucks regardless. Fucking look at the season Baker had in 2019. He was fucking unbelievable.
That we don't
Jimmy never had one of those.
too.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's one thing that Jimmy has over Baker. He has wins and he has playoff wins. Even though he didn't contribute to any of those goddamn wins,
Mm-hmm.
he
I
still
mean,
has playoff wins on his resume. So
I
at
mean,
the end of the day, people are going to look at the resume and they're going to look at his wins and they're going to look at the body of work and say, what am I getting? How am I going to be able to use that to my advantage? And will the team rally around him? Everyone that is on the 49ers, you know, these players talk. So somebody's going to tell him, yeah, he's a good locker room guy. He's a good dude. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you know, when you look at it as an owner of a franchise, if you need a bridge quarterback, you're going to get either Baker or Jimmy, but you're
see, but
probably
Baker could be
leaning more towards Jimmy because Jimmy is one of those dudes. It's team win or lose. If we lose, we lost as a team. If we win, we won as a team. You know, but that Baker doesn't exude that kind of situation. And I'm not taking anything away from him. He's actually a really, really good quarterback to be able to play through all those things and do the stuff that he does. And I give him credit if you've been through several different coordinators. Look at Alex Smith. He went through a million coordinators before he got good. But
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't.
I think Jimmy's a bridge quarterback. You can
Yeah.
build. You can
Oh,
still
he's not
take.
a franchise guy. You're
Well, that's what
not
I'm
putting
saying.
your money on him for
Baker's
that.
still technically a franchise guy. If
Mm-hmm.
he goes to the right, like I get in a way, I get the Colts going for Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan's at the end of his career and not the same Matt Ryan. I would have 110% taken Baker Mayfield because I'm going to have you get him for cheap anyway from the Browns, and then you're going to have him for a lot fucking longer than you're going to have Matt Ryan. So I don't fucking understand. I don't understand some of the moves these teams make because it's like, and everybody shits on Baker, but obviously when he's healthy and has some stability, he's a pretty damn good quarterback. And they're
Yeah.
acting like his career's over. I'm like, this guy's gonna go to the fucking team and play the next 10 years there, unless it's Seattle, and then he'll get fucking hurt because they'll never fucking block for him, and he can't run like Russell. So, but
Yeah.
any other team he's gonna go to, he's probably gonna be a starter for the next 10 years. Jimmy's gonna fucking be in the league 1 or 2 more years and then be done.
How old's Jimmy again?
30,
30?
Yeah.
30?
fucking
Think.
older than
I
me.
mean, if anything, he might be just a backup after probably.
I mean, I would seem so,
If
but I
no
don't.
one trades for him, yeah, he will wind up being cut.
Well,
That much is
Mhm.
true.
it's like they're talking about the freaking, they're talking about the Panthers taking a quarterback at 6. Like, there's not a quarterback in this draft worth taking at 6. I would go fucking give a third or a fourth for fucking Baker right now
Yeah.
and fucking draft either one of the receivers or the pass rusher or whatever the hell. Fucking offensive lineman probably is what Carolina needs anyway. But just, I don't understand some of these fucking teams. Like, you're gonna go and give up what you gave up to get fucking Darnold and act like fucking Darnold is worth it and more is a better quarterback to have on your team than Baker Mayfield. Like, fucking come on with
Honestly,
that. Like,
well, let's be honest.
I
I
don't
think
get it.
even number 10 is better than Sam Darnold. Let's just be honest.
And the sad part is they looked into Darnold to be his replacement, which didn't make any fucking sense. Keep
Yeah.
telling people USC quarterbacks are ass in the league outside of
That's
Carson
true.
Palmer.
The thing with Darnold is that guy has all the talent in the world, but no confidence, none. And his thing too is he fucking didn't stay in college long enough. He pulled a Mark Sanchez and left after like a year or so, way too fucking young, not ready to fucking be in the league.
Mhm.
And then he went to the worst fucking franchise to go to, and it ate him alive.
Yeah.
That's the sad
Mm.
part. That guy has all the talent in the world. Fucking makes some unreal fucking throws, like, and then all of a sudden he makes some fucking bonehead like crazy plays. You're just like, what the fuck? Like that.
Yeah.
Remember that fucking was it 2020 that when we played them and he had that fucking across his body throw for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was fucking insane.
Yeah. Um. So, do you think we'll see Deebo like play wide back again this coming up season, or
I
is
think
he gonna?
Deebo. will do
They-
anything Kyle asks him to do. So that's what I would say.
I would say that you'll see less of it. You won't see
Less
as
of it.
much, but you will see less of it. They're definitely
Mm.
planning on decreasing the wide back role and sticking more to him being a receiver. Um,
Yeah.
I don't see him being utilized as much in the run game.
Hmm.
The whole thing is honestly with the running backs, you got to be smart about it. We have
Well,
Jeff Wilson Jr., we have Elijah Mitchell, and we have Trey Sermon.
and the
Here's the
emergence of
thing.
Sermon is going to make the difference of why Deebo won't need to get the ball so much.
Yeah. Lefty's been staunch in his idea that Aaron Banks and Trey Sermon are Trey Lance guys, and that's why number 10 wasn't allowed to use them as people on the field. But I do believe that they start looking more into Sermon and seeing what he can do with this regime. They've always drafted a damn running back, so don't put it past him to draft another one. But yeah, I see it decreasing. That's my take on that.
Okay.
It's gonna happen, but not as much.
Yeah.
I think Sermon's gonna fucking explode though.
So
Especially especially in the inside runs. But you remember a lot of times we use Deebo was a lot for a lot of inside runs and outside runs too. But because Mitchell's mostly has been an outside guy, which Kyle likes to run a lot. So I would like to. I think we're going to get to see a lot more inside running with Sermon, and it'll be a lot more like added to the offense compared to like most like especially last year. Most of Kyle's offense was try to get the ball running the ball on the outside and establish the outside. And then if we couldn't run it inside, we really struggle with that. I think that won't be as much of an issue this season. I think it'll actually, if we can't run it outside, we'll be able to establish something inside, or vice
Mhm.
versa, depending on what team we're playing. I think we'll have more of a um, uh, opportunities to run the ball a lot better. So I could be wrong, but that's kind of how what I see happening too. And I think just with having Lance being a run threat too is going to make a difference.
All right. That's good to know. So let's just say like come June, July, right? Um, number 10 is still on the damn roster. Are we still gonna I mean, do you feel like we'll still be able to try to sign Deebo, or will we have to wait till next year? I mean, I'm just
Mm,
throwing
He'll
out some stuff, but
he'll get his money at least by August.
okay.
Jimmy,
yeah,
he'll be gone by August. Jimmy will, and that's when Deebo will get his money. Don't you think, Dion?
Let's
I agree with that. The reason being is I said this on my own channel because I had just put out a video after not putting out something. I just didn't want to saturate the channel
Mm-hmm.
with the
yeah.
rumors and all. I just didn't feel like
Yeah.
it was right. And it wasn't,
It's
and
all
it's nothing
nonsense.
against anybody that is continually putting out content. Please, by all means, do your thing. We all love anybody that creates 49er content, but I just felt like it was the same thing over and over again. So my point for this is Jimmy has to go.
Hmm.
He has to. The number one thing is as long as Kyle has told that locker room, along with Trey Lance, that he's the man and that's it, and you better get behind him or get gone, that's
Hmm.
fine. I don't have to know. I'm just a fan. You don't have to tell me anything you don't want to tell me. But you must make sure that locker room is clear on who is their leader. You
Yeah.
have pro Jimmy guys in that locker room still to this day. There will be dudes that will fight for him to continue to remain the starter. You cannot go into training camp with a quarterback battle between Jimmy and Trey Lance. You
Hmm.
will divide the locker room. It is bad for business. If I am the 49ers, the only reason Jimmy Garoppolo is anywhere near my facilities is to pass that damn physical. I don't let him in the building. I don't want you touching a football. Don't talk to nobody. Bro, I want you to come in with the Kanye West mask on. So don't nobody even know who the hell you are. Like it's literally that much of a detriment to the team if you don't make it clear. Because I don't want dissension in the locker room because
I
you'll
think it's
have guys like Kittle, Like even Deebo, you'll have McGlinchey, you'll have Alex Mack, you'll have Juice. They'll all come and they'll say, "Hey man, 10 is here. Let's run it back. We've got
Hmm.
him. Let's go." And you're gonna have guys like Brandon Ayuk, and maybe even possibly a few dudes on the defense, and even some of the new cats going, "Man, we don't ain't nobody got time for that shit. You drafted this kid. It's time for him to go. We've been working out with him all off season. Don't
Well,
nobody want to."
that's what I want to touch on too, though. I think it's already been made clear because a lot of the receivers are obviously working with Lance. I mean, McLeod gets
Yeah,
signed, and
working with
uh,
him.
he's already there working with him. There's
Yeah,
a reason for there's a reason
there's
for that
two
because he
ways.
comes in and gets the spiel once he signs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's two
go ahead,
ways to
Dean.
look at it because you could say, well, Jimmy isn't healthy. That's why he can't organize anything in the offseason. But I can tell you this, even if Jimmy was healthy, they're looking to move him. Ain't nobody going to work out with him. He ain't about to organize nothing. Why? Because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to jeopardize his own health.
He would have been gone
Outside of
already.
working out, staying in shape to
yeah,
go out there and work out with dudes he possibly is not even going to wind up throwing to anyway.
Yeah.
And the other thing they asked Ray McLeod, do you know who the quarterback is? And I think he avoided the question altogether. They've asked several people. So I think the mood in the locker room right now is keep your mouth shut and let John and Kyle handle that. And I'm
yeah,
pretty sure Kyle will, you know, I just want him to publicly back him. I really do.
yeah.
I don't want him to keep loving on Jimmy and holding his hand and trying to prop him up as if he's so great they can't let go of him and they're prepared to go into the second season and all that other
See,
shit.
but doesn't Kyle get that from his
Don't
dad?
do it. Just back Trey Lance and do it publicly because with the way these young kids are, that's what they need. They
Yeah.
need that attention. And I know that they said that, Kyle and Trey have been talking like every day, all that. That's perfectly fine. If I'm Trey, I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm going to tell him straight up. I would really appreciate it, man, if at some point you guys could publicly back me and just say, this is our guy. Because think about it like this. Say they screw Trey Lance,
Hmm.
hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy's healthy. They cannot move him. And they say, we were prepared to have you sit for 2 years. I know all offseason has been you, but Jimmy's here. Jimmy's our guy. You're going to have to sit. I asked for a fucking trade. I don't want to be there. No. I'm
Facts.
not going to do everything all offseason knowing that this is pretty much supposed to be my damn team, period. And here you are telling me that I got to take a back seat to this motherfucker who y'all was trying to move and couldn't do it because he sucked ass that bad and he went to go have surgery and fucked y'all on moving him. It's not my problem. I don't want to be here. Get me up out of here, man. I don't look. You're not gonna get the same compensation you got for me, but you could probably get at least one of the first round picks back. But get up out of here. I don't have time for that.
I think he'd have been gone already if it wasn't for the shoulder, and that even counts with getting cut. I think they would have cut him if he doesn't have that shoulder surgery and he doesn't have that injury
I think
thing with
he
it
would
with
have
his
been.
contract. I mean, we lose 7 million in
What's up,
space by
Bryant?
cutting him right now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like if they cut him now, then they miss that 7 million. So they're like, we'll just hold on to him, and
yeah,
when he's healthy, we'll cut him because nobody's going to trade for him. Like
Yeah,
if he's not traded by draft night, by the draft, he's not getting traded.
yeah.
So it'll just be a matter of okay, he's healthy, passed physical, boom, cut him.
yeah. I mean, we definitely have to for sure find out what happens. I mean, like you said, if he didn't have the surgery, he would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if he didn't have the surgery, he probably would have been a Colt because the Colts seemed pretty interested
Hmm.
until the surgery came
I
around.
mean,
So
shoot, they said it. They said that they were up in the air after him having the surgery because he might have not been ready for OTAs and training camp and all that stuff.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And
So
I don't blame blame them because they had to deal with that last year with Wentz and they weren't about to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, time will tell for sure. We got the draft coming up in a couple weeks, so that's gonna be fun.
Dude,
Definitely, we're gonna be going on with all our high fam.
it's gonna be
Um,
Mm-hmm.
chaos.
Yeah.
I
So make
have a
sure you
feeling
guys
it's
tune
going to be
in.
chaos. It's not going to be the chaos that we had last draft. That was fun, but I mean, it's going to still be kind of chaotic, I think.
Yeah. Brian makes a good point. Jimmy injury surgery held up everything. Uh, it did. I mean, it really fucked everything up, I think,
That,
from what the Niners were going to
but
do.
that's the thing is that that front offense, including Kyle, are not going to, never going to say how annoyed or pissed off they are. But like
Oh, yeah, I know.
that's Kyle though.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't like to praise or do anything like that for
Mm-mm.
anybody on this team. He likes to keep it all behind closed doors. Like he's like that guy that hates PDA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He don't want to hold your hand. He don't want to hug. He don't
No,
want to kiss. He just, you
he's
know, you're my
very
woman. Leave me alone.
much
Yeah.
like his dad in that sense.
He's
Yeah.
gonna
Like the
he's
way
gonna
Mike
do what he
was.
did. He's gonna do what he did last year with the whole Trey Lance thing, I think.
It's
Um,
7.5 million. If you cut him now because of the injury guarantee that he has, I believe in
Mhm.
some way, shape, or form that's recoupable when he signs with another team.
Yep.
But I don't see them doing that because of how much they've came out openly and stated they're not cutting him. And I
Mhm.
think that's just them doing the same thing they've been doing, just loving on him and trying to prop him up as this great quarterback that you can't get rid of.
Well,
Like
they
this
have to
isn't
because
Tom
he's not
Brady.
good enough without
Yeah,
him.
but I'm saying like this isn't Tom Brady. You don't need to back Jimmy like that. I've
yeah.
always felt like this, and I know I remember when we were in the group chat, and Perry was on my head about some of the things I was saying because of my frustrations. And all I'm saying is you're not going to come out and publicly diss the guy, but you could simply say Jimmy's currently not healthy. Once he is healthy, we'll figure out the best course of action. Like that's all you have to say. You don't have
Mhm.
to do all this. Oh, Jimmy's a great quarterback. We would never waste our time cutting him. And come on, bro. Don't get out there.
We,
What are
we,
you? What my thing is, you. What are you saying to the league? You're saying nothing because
it's all
everybody already
smoke.
knows the truth of the guy. Like
Yep.
you can't hide this shit.
But
Like it ain't
the
like
Niners,
nobody knows what he is. Nobody doesn't know what he is. Everybody's seen it. So don't sit up there and continue to put him on a fucking pedestal that he doesn't belong on when everybody knows you lying. If I'm an owner, I look at that. I tell you that's them blowing smoke up your ass. They trying to move that man. And if you feel like you could use him as a bridge quarterback because his quarterback class is pretty trash,
Hmm.
then you're gonna go ahead and say, all right, we'll pull the trigger on it. I would never take him as a quarterback because I feel like I would get to that point where I need him to show up and he unfortunately won't. But it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, shit. Well, I mean, we're just fans. We gotta wait until
That's all we can
shit
do.
comes out. Yep. I mean, dude, 49ers Twitter is ridiculous. I mean, that's all I gotta
Oh,
say.
it's insane, bro. These spaces, the
Except
whole
for
now let's go
National.
49ers now.
don't
Yeah, the
don't
spaces,
even.
everything is just
Hmm.
like I haven't been in. I've been in a few of them, but it's more so now. Everybody just calm. To be honest with you, everyone's calmed down. But what it is, one thing that I saw, I was watching Eric Crocker,
Hmm.
and he was saying that he does see this, and I saw it too. Like we get maligned for being up in arms about stuff. Like
Yeah.
other 49er fans attack us, like, just trust the team. Shut up. Oh, you guys are all over the place. It's like, look, because you're not as passionate about it as I am, doesn't mean you get to tell me to shut up about it. All right.
Yeah.
Because you want to trust the regime and what they do, that's fine. Go right ahead. What I'm going to tell you is, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. You know why? They've lied to us on many different occasions. That's what
Hmm.
they're going to do. Is that going to upset me as a fan? Yes. But I don't. Yeah, exactly. There it is. That's what
Like
everybody's saying.
Brian said,
Trust the
trust the
process.
I
process.
said, fuck
My
the
thing
process.
is, I don't like the process. The
Me neither.
process annoys the fuck out of me. I just want somebody to be transparent. You could come
Yeah.
out like the way that I just stated on how you handle Jimmy Garoppolo going forward is very simple. You're just figuring out the next best course of action. But all this love for him and holding him in high regard and he's a great guy. Nobody give a fuck about all that.
Well, you
All that
well,
matters is what you could do on the field,
let's
and you're
let's put it
obviously not good enough.
let's put it
Hmm.
this way. It's just like a fucking car salesman when they're trying to sell you a shitty car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're not
they
going to buy it
basically
when they look at it. They're not going to buy it from looking at it. But if you can fucking talk it up, maybe they'll buy it. It's the same shit. They know Jimmy
Yep,
they
yep,
isn't
just
good
yep.
enough to really get a trade, so they're like trying to talk him up, thinking that'll help, but it ain't
you're
going to do
looking for that one sucker. You just need that
Yes.
dumbass to bite.
exactly.
That's all we
Exactly.
waiting on. We need that dumbass to bite. And just give us a couple of picks. Because I tell you right now, if John and Kyle think they're getting anything more than the third rounder for Jimmy Garoppolo, they're out of their
Well,
mind.
they may have if there wasn't such a fucking crazy off season with the quarterbacks. Like there,
At
all the
this,
movement
yeah,
this off season kind
Mhm.
of
that's true.
that I don't think that was. Let's be fair, that wasn't expected either.
Oh man, if the guy could have just waited until we fucking got rid of his dumbass.
It is what it is. We just got to deal with it.
But like nobody expected Matt Ryan to be moving. Nobody,
Yeah, I did
we
not
knew
expect
I
that
that at all.
expected
Watson.
him. I did.
Knew Watson might move, but we had, didn't
I'm gonna
expect
tell you
what
the
came
reason why
from
I
that.
expected Matt Ryan to move because after Jimmy announced his surgery, I knew his trade value just dropped and plummeted. The other thing was look at what the Colts did before. Who they went out and got? Phillip Rivers' old ass. He
Hmm.
played a year
That's
for him,
true.
called it quits. Now he's down, I think, in Florida with his like 18 kids on a farm and shit. Like
Just
that
coaching
motherfucker got
football.
yeah, just chilling. And then the other thing was I knew that Matt Ryan wasn't in the future plans for the Falcons because they definitely weren't putting anything around him for him to succeed. The Falcons have been ass for the last couple of years.
Hmm.
And typically the NFC South is one of those divisions where the division winner rotates on a consistent basis. I don't think they've had like a consistent division winner in like the last couple of years. So
Well,
you'll see guys like Matt Ryan moved, and now they got Marcus Mariota. Let me tell you something. Mariota been sitting there on the fucking on the bench, doing nothing for the last couple of years. So if you think that he randomly gonna save a franchise after they basically shitted on him in Tennessee, I don't know what you got going, but maybe something has happened.
but I mean, this Austin's crazy because I really think Watson had chosen the Falcons. I think he was going to go home to Atlanta and go play with the Falcons. And
Yeah,
then right before that decision came out, the Browns said, "Oh wait, here's all this fucking
draft
money.
capital.
Here's this
Hmm.
fucking guaranteed money for you. We'll give you this fucking crazy contract that no other team would have given him." And he's like, "Oh fuck. Well, I guess I'm not going home. I'm taking the fucking money."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what Dan said what was true because the Steelers they were looking into it, but here's the thing: Steelers don't give up picks like that. They're not
Yeah.
looking to give up their draft picks to acquire players. If they do, it's always late round picks. It's not in their model of the way they do things to go and give up a first or second rounder for someone like Jimmy. They just don't do it. They would love it, but I mean, hell, and uh,
Mitch is could
I'll say this. I'll say this really quick, man. A brief moment of silence for the unfortunate loss of life with Dwayne Haskins. It's
Hmm.
very, very sad. It's tragic, man. It's hard. Very young kid, had a bright future ahead of him. We
Yeah, he
all
did.
knew what was going on, man. But it's that hurts. For a young kid
That was.
like that to be,
good.
in a car, and that's the one thing you never know when you can go, man.
Well, did they ever
Hmm.
get any more information on that? Whether it was he did it on
I
purpose or he
haven't.
had,
I have not seen anything myself, but I know I woke up and I definitely didn't believe it. I definitely
well,
didn't believe it. That was heartbreaking because
Yeah,
you
I
know
woke up
it's
and I
sucks.
saw that.
Well, I was my first thought was he dealing with some mental illness because he seemed like a guy that could be in his head, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just was wondering if he would maybe dealing any kind of
He
mental illness.
seemed
he
he
was a
seemed really
passenger.
happy.
Yeah, he was a passenger, and he was very happy over there
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh. He didn't have any issues because they did
Okay.
tell him that he was going to compete for the starting job. Like it was
Yeah.
going to be a competition because they didn't
Hmm.
know who would be the starter. It would it be him or Mason Rudolph? And then they brought in Mitch, so it was like they're
Yeah.
going to figure out who's the guy, and you'll see a clear cut winner, pretty early. But yeah, man, it's very sad, but the Steelers just they don't move like that.
Yeah.
He was hit.
He
No, he was
was
hit by a car.
On the
He was
hit by
freeway
not.
a
No,
though,
he was
dump truck.
that's the
in a
thing.
car.
No, he
I
was
think
he
when
was he was
wasn't he in a
walking on
car?
the freeway. He was walking on the highway.
Yeah,
Oh
he
That's
was
why I
hit by a
wonder
dump
if it.
truck.
That's why I'm wondering if it was like
no,
he
most
was.
likely he. I mean, if you're walking on the highway, most likely your car broke down.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I've had to do it before myself, and yes, it's dangerous as all hell. But
yeah, it
yes,
is.
your car breaks down on the freeway. My car broke down in the carpool lane, bro. So you
Oof.
can only
That's
imagine how
the
scared I
worst.
was. That was my first
Yeah.
thing, and I literally I turned my flashers on, and I was just praying to God that that somebody didn't obliterate the car even worse and obliterate me at the same time. It's very, very scared, man. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. He was definitely going to do so, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it
So
must have
I
been.
think the kid was in a good space. It just
It must have been dark, and then
never
he
know,
was
man.
Well,
whatever hit
yeah, it was
him.
6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, they it sucks, man.
Yeah,
Because that's what I've
rest
been
his
hearing too.
soul.
That he was like one of the most like genuine guys in the league, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
he
Hmm.
seemed like a really down to earth guy.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
sad.
but rest his soul, man.
It's really sad.
Prayers out to his family. But I think we're gonna end it pretty soon here. But what are your guys' last thoughts with the whole Deebo situation and everything?
For me, it's the same that it's been the whole time, and just sit and wait, and then also go on Twitter and laugh at all the freaking people getting crazy and running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they can't just sit and wait for shit to play out.
Dude, the spaces that I've been joining the past couple days have been
Dude,
ridiculously
I
funny.
I don't know. It's just like just wait. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no point. I just don't. They like I Niners Twitter is freaking
Like,
so
well,
bipolar.
dude, when that first came out about the whole Instagram bullshit, I'm like, y'all need to stop worrying because literally, I mean, to me, I know it's like this, like with
Dude,
social media and everything with players, but I mean, it's just social media. Like,
here's how
relax.
much.
Kyler Murray did it, right? Kyler Murray
Here,
did it, and look it.
Oh,
yeah,
speaking of
exactly.
him, he has come out and said he's not playing until he gets a new
Yeah, well,
contract.
he's a giant baby,
Yeah.
dude. That guy fucking needs to grow the fuck up.
Well, not look now.
His
Here's
maturity level's about at the height of his actual height, so he
but
needs to fucking grow the fuck
here's
up a
what
little
I
bit.
here's what I'll say to that. Why is Debo Samuel not a giant baby? Because he wants his money.
No, because we know that Kyler's a giant baby from in the locker room and on the field.
That's true.
He got
Yeah,
if you get shit talked on
That's
you
true.
by fucking Larry Fitzgerald, you really know you're doing something wrong.
that
Yeah,
is true. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Fitz,
sorry,
yeah.
but
Fitz is usually a pretty good dude.
yeah.
Although my wife, when she was in college, she worked for the Cardinals for a little bit, and she said that Fitz was an asshole. But
Oh,
you know,
really?
you never know, man. She said it was him and Darnell Dockett. They were both assholes.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But you never know, man. I mean, everybody meets people, and everybody has a different perspective. I think that Charles Barkley's a dick, but that's because of
Well,
the experience I had with him.
Yeah.
I've heard he can be. It's not like Shaq when you meet him. He's like the fucking friendliest giant ever.
Shaq is a fucking friendly,
That
jolly
guy,
green giant. This
dude.
big ass. That motherfucker's massive.
I watched some video about him like talking about freaking this lady getting mad at him for signing with whatever was it Nike or whatever, and
Yeah,
told him he was an asshole because kids can't afford his shoes. So he fucking ended his
he
agreement
did.
with his shoe company and started the
Mm-hmm.
freaking and ones for Walmart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just because some lady said that he's an asshole for kids can't afford his shoes, and he's like, oh, you know what? Fine, I'm
I
gonna
had a
take that
pair of
shit back.
Shaq. I had a pair of Shaq shoes when I was a kid. Yeah,
Mhm.
and you know
Dude,
what? I'm still here talking to you guys today because at the time, at the height of Jordan and all these other guys, man, it's definitely a situation. Fitz is an asshole for torching us in Super Bowl for Fitz ain't shit, man. That motherfucker never won a ring. That motherfucker they put so many memes up to him,
Poor Fitz,
and all
man.
that stuff. Yeah, we've heard of that. We all know about T.O., man. It's unfortunate, but
Is he
I
really?
you know,
Yeah.
He's I didn't
but yeah, man,
I
we've
figured he
got
might be a
we
jerk
did
in real
have a
life, but
bunch
that
of
sucks.
we did have one thing to go over real quick before we get out of
Yeah, go
here.
ahead. Go
We
ahead, man.
got free agent guys that have come in. So we've
Mm-hmm.
got Oren Burks, Darquez Denard, Kerry Hyder, wide receiver Marcus Johnson, wide receiver Ray McLeod, safety George Odom,
Hmm.
uh, defensive lineman Hassan Ridgeway, wide receiver Malik Turner, defensive back Charvarius Ward. Um, so we've had a couple of guys that come in and
Yeah.
that have signed with us and been with us through the situations basically through this off season. So a lot of the signings to me have been to bolster special teams and or to add depth to the defensive line. I honestly am of the idea that I believe that if Kerry Hyder gets right back into the system and can duplicate what he did without Nick Bosa, although a lot of people are saying like he had garbage sacks and all, either way, the man still had 8.5 sacks. If Javon Kinlaw is healthy and he's in the middle with Eric Armstead, and you got Hyder on the outside and Bosa on the other side, and you got all four of those dudes putting pressure on the quarterback, I guarantee you somebody's gonna get home. And Javon has said that he is as healthy as he possibly can be, so I can appreciate that.
Well,
But
you
those
know
are
they.
some of the free agent guys that have come in, and hopefully Ray McLeod doesn't have any more fumbling issues, and we can use him in that kick return game and finally get somebody that will be able to do it. Most of these guys are special teams or depth pieces. I don't
Hmm.
really see a starter outside of Charvarius Ward.
I
Yeah,
was
let
gonna.
me.
Hold
It's
on.
just
I was gonna say I think
yeah,
Kinlaw found the right doctor to fix his knee because
Yeah.
I think he found whoever he found. He found the right guy that actually like found what was wrong with his knee, what they could do best to
Mm-hmm.
fix it. Because I just heard that the first surgery that Beckham had on his ACL, it was all fucked up. They fucked it up bad. So
Yeah.
when he retoured in the Super Bowl, he got the right surgeon, and the surgeon he had this time knew that
yeah,
from the MRIs they were taking before they even did the surgery that his first surgery was fucking fucked his knee up bad. So now
yeah.
with his new surgery, it's going to fix it, and he's going to be even probably better than before he tore it. So just hearing
Uh,
that makes me think that it's probably something with Kinlaw's knee where he finally found the right doctor, and they said they fixed it. So I kind of believe him.
uh, D, I wanted to get your take on this because I heard you in Spaces this morning,
Mm-hmm.
on our signing that we did today, the defensive line, Kamoko Toure. Um, I heard you weren't too crazy about it.
I mean, it's the issue with me, man. Like, maybe in the off season, I'm one of those people who looks for things that are lackluster.
Hmm.
I don't look for that stuff. I want something that's gonna blow me away. Like if say we move 10
Hmm.
and we sign Deebo and 5 minutes later you hear that we didn't sign the Honey Badger. I'm going insane. You know
Hmm.
why? I know who the Honey Badger is. I know what he brings to the table.
He only
I
wants
know
10
how
million.
well, huh?
He only wants 10 million. He'll take 10 million. It's not that
But
much.
that's what I'm saying. The money will be available. So if that were to happen, that's what I look for. I saw
Yeah,
the guy. A lot of people were talking about his pressure rate and all this other stuff. I don't give a fuck about pressures. I give a fuck about production. What do your
yeah.
numbers look like? Do your numbers say you get home? If your numbers say you're getting home, then fine. It's good. It's a great signing. That's cool. This
Well,
was
with
another
these,
depth piece added to the defensive line. And if he even makes the team, it is what it is. But I can tell you this: I honestly do believe that Kerry Hyder has another good season with us. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, we can't really count on him to do that." You've been sitting there going back and forth about getting another edge rusher, and I swear to God, if we draft a defensive lineman with the 61st pick
I,
in the draft,
I was
I'm gonna
literally
scream.
gonna get to
I'm gonna
that when you're
scream
done.
and pull my fucking hair out. I ain't got much left, but god damn it, I
Hey,
don't
yo,
want another defensive lineman at the first pick. We've done it the last couple of years, and the only person that's panned out with has been named Nick Bosa because
So
Javon
mhm,
Kinlaw's rookie season was not overly fantastic.
no,
And I'm not saying I don't like Kinlaw people. I'm not casting any aspersions on him. I'm just saying it wasn't over the top. There was
so
nothing crazy outside of the interception, and maybe I think he had a sack or two,
mhm.
but I'm looking for more out of him and I want him to continue to develop. So hopefully things get better. I would look for us to go draft somebody, a guard,
offensive
to
line,
be able
please.
to compete with Daniel Brunskill, because it looks like Kyle is somewhat saying that um, he believes that Aaron Banks is good enough to start. So I mean, I'm assuming Banks goes in the left guard, but that right guard position is still a little confusing. Right now,
Yeah.
currently, we have the three starters on the line that are solidified. That's Mack, Williams, and McGlinchey.
Hmm.
Those are the only three guys that we have that are starters. Outside of that, we need to figure out what is going on at those guard spots because those guards pull different ways on the field to be able to work in Shanahan's system. So I like it, but I don't want another defensive lineman. That's just going to be annoying. But I hope that we can go get ourselves a nice little situation with a nice little guard or possibly a center to back up Alex Mack. I hear Linderbaum's name ringing bells a lot, but the guy we signed today, I mean, all right, depth piece
Here,
for the line, but I mean,
here's
there's
a
nothing about him that screams to me that this guy is really going to be able to produce. If that's the case, we could have just re-signed Arden Key because he gave us 5.5 sacks last
okay.
year too. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
All the guys on our line can have produced because it's just the way our defensive line works.
Chris
The same thing.
Kaseri.
Everybody can produce. So what I see from the signings with the defensive line is they're loading up with the cheap guys because I think they're finally actually not planning to draft freaking Tim D linemen or with the early picks because that's why they're loading up because there's no point to load up with these guys on the D line and then draft somebody. So they got to go either. I think the first pick needs to be offensive line. I'm kind of going to be pissed if it's anything other than offensive line, but I assume they're going to go. Corner, safety, and offensive line are going to be the top three needs for us, and I think they're trying to just build the defensive line would just fill in guys that can rotate so we have good depth and then we're not going to have to worry about it in the draft. That's kind of what I'm taking from it, or at least hoping that's what they're doing.
Yeah. We're for sure gonna have to see. I hope to God that they don't draft a freaking defensive end
Oh,
guy
stop
again.
it,
I
guys.
hope to
I'm
God.
so fucking
But
pissed.
you'll find out our reactions because we will be live during
Well,
the draft.
for the second day, I won't.
It
I'll be driving to California, so I won't be able to check in.
well well you could try on your phone.
If depending depending on the
I
to be
like how
fair,
he made that
depending
happen.
on
He was like, "You can try on your phone.
hey,
You're not
depending
getting.
on
You're
if I
not
got
getting out of this.
You're not
it
getting
Your
depends
out
on
of
the
ass
this,
on the
god
service.
damn
damn
screen.
Hey, when you're
Stop
driving through
fucking
the
with me,
desert,
god damn it.
when you're driving through the desert, it depends on the service when you're driving through the desert. Like I
Yeah,
would
no,
like to
yeah,
be
it gets
Yeah, I
spotty.
know.
Believe
I
me,
want to
bro.
be
It
on
gets
when
gets
our pick
spotty.
comes up for sure, but if I can't, it would only be because the service
He
is
said
shit.
just the process.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
be. With the draft is what the 28th, right?
the
Not
20
mistaken.
I
Starts the
think it's
28th, yeah.
the
Thursday
yeah,
the 28th.
28th. Yeah.
Let me see here. Thursday the 28th. Okay, so I can be on for day two, and get rolling there. But the rest of that weekend, man, I'm gonna be in Corpus Christi, Texas. So
Nice,
I
dude.
may try to sneak in here and there, but
Okay.
can't guarantee the wife gonna allow that because it's her birthday weekend. So
Okay.
Nice.
I'll
she'll
talk to
have
the
that time.
wife and say, hey, I mean, it's just for a couple hours. We'll be all right. All right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
right,
no,
dude.
she ain't talking about no couple of
We
hours.
we
Yeah,
gotta be
you
getting
say a
there.
couple of hours. You say a couple of hours. You trying to get me killed? I ain't gonna be no
Dude,
damn streaming. I ain't
Dion
gonna be
gonna be
alive.
Dion's gonna be trying to find his nuts when they get ripped from that vice.
Oh
No
man.
man, I ain't doing all
Um.
that.
Just kidding, bro. Just kidding.
But
We
I
ain't
know
trying
we
to
don't.
get you in trouble.
No,
I
I
know.
know, man. It's all love.
I know we don't have a pick in the first round, but we will be live with the Hive for the rest of the Hive
Hmm.
crew. And if Matt and Zach don't go live again on was it Friday? We'll be live on this channel. So just keep that in mind, chat. But other than that, if you guys have anything else to say,
Nah, man,
no.
just go Niners. Everybody, just prepare for the draft.
Hmm.
just
Just
chill and go with the flow
chill,
for
man.
once.
Yep.
In the words of the quarterback that we seem to beat all the time, RELAX. Relax.
Facts.
We
Seriously.
this all you can do. I'm gonna tell you right now, getting worked up over all this stuff that's going on in the off season is not
Yep.
gonna help it's not gonna help your mental health or your blood
Bro,
pressure. That's all
I don't
we
even.
gotta do. Just wait until everything the dust put like this. The key right now, the key focus that everybody should be talking about is the draft. That's what's around the corner. So
Hmm.
once that draft hits, it will be time for us to see what they did,
Hmm.
evaluate the picks, take a look at them, give you more content, and then
Hmm.
also we have an off-season program coming. So there will be a lot more for us to talk about outside of anything else. So
Yes,
no
sir.
more panic. Everybody just take a chill pill, wait for the
Relax.
draft to come around, stay safe, stay healthy, and continue to keep tuning into the podcast because we'll bring you
Yes,
the
sir.
updates.
And don't forget, always stay faithful.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, guys. Peace. Go
Peace
Niners.
out.